So here we are at the beginning of segment 10 at the Tailrace fishing area. You just go past the gate and you start by doing almost 78 miles of trail around Falls Lake to the Eno River. Let's go take a look at the dam. So here is the Falls Lakes Dam. Falls Lake itself is over 12,000 acres. It's surrounded by, they say, over 25,000 acres of land. Reminds me a little of Fontana Dam, built a little bit differently, but got the road going across. We'll take a walk on. So that's where the dam empties into. They let the water go through as they feel necessary if it's too full. This is the other side of the dam. Grass on this side, little picnic area over there. And this is the lake side. Absolutely gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And here's the other side of that tower. It is really amazing that this is just north of Raleigh. So much beauty. Raleigh is, well, it's not the prettiest city. Growing up in Jersey, I've seen worse, but this is beautiful up here. And this is actually, Falls Lake is the reservoir that supplies the drinking water to Raleigh and the surrounding communities. If you want to come up and look at it, you can actually just drive up here. You don't have to hike to it. And yeah, you can see a pretty amazing man-made structure. But I would get out on the trail and walk the trail if you get the chance. Happy hiking. So we're just entering segment 10 around the Falls Lake Dam. And we got a little buddy here. What you doing, buddy? You try to get up that hill? Want a boost? Let's give him a boost. Come on, bud. I'll give you a boost. Ready? Oh, come on. There you go. And we gave him a boost. All right. Nature's so cool. The moment I got on this part of the trail, off the Neuse Trail, when segment 11 ended, it literally felt like I was traveling back a year ago and I was hiking back on the AT. Without the major mountains, but it is just amazing out here. And this is the beginning of Falls Lake, and the Falls Lake Dam is off to the right. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, this is a first. I'm being followed by a deer. I don't know if you can see it back there, but I'm literally being followed by a deer. It's freaking me out. I'm gonna stop so you can see. Hey, buddy. You following me? Oh my God. Now he's flanking me. All right. That's crazy. This deer is still following me. So there was 3 of them. And the one was a baby. The other 2 were big, like the one following me. So I think what he's doing, or she's doing, is making sure that the baby, because the baby ran in my direction and towards the front. But let's see if he's still back there. Yep, he's still following me. Almost a quarter mile now. Right there. Hey, you gonna follow me still or no? What's up, dude? I'm not gonna hurt anybody. I love you guys. So here we are. We're a little less than halfway between Bayleaf Church Road by the Yorkshire Center and the dead end of Possum Track Road. I always just find it amazing when you see these really old cars in the middle of the woods. You can see by the tail end here, the rounded off, the steel bumper. It's an older vehicle. You can see the underneath and See how simple it was back then. There's like a tie rod for the front steering. But yeah, I always find it amazing when you see these cars in the middle of nowhere. Like, how did it get here? Like, yeah, these trees are all probably pretty young, 15, 20 years old, but it's literally in the middle of nowhere. Thinking it must have came from up that way. But always funny what you'll see out in the middle of the trail. But pretty quiet today. It's a Monday. It's July 7th. And we're just out here doing segment 10. Happy hiking. So we're crossing between Shenleaf Recreation Area and North Carolina 98 Six Forks Road. And it's like halfway from Shenleaf to there. Just wanted to give a nice video of Falls Lake. It's been absolutely beautiful. You're always really close to the water, but this was one of the first spots where I can get a nice video and show you all how beautiful it is. It's been really warm the last couple days of hiking. Over 100 degrees on the heat index up here in Raleigh. You know, and there's really no elevation, and I'd packed up a lot of water, but because a lot of I'm not ready to use my Sawyer on this water unless that's an emergency. But yeah, it's a beautiful hike out here. It's like 76 or 78 miles. It goes along the Falls Lake out to Eno Park. Happy hiking. So we're crossing North Carolina 98. Whew. That's pretty tough. They're flying down there. You got to wait for an opening on both sides. But just wanted to show you all this. This is old 98. So this was the old highway. We walk on a little bit, and then we cross back into the woods. But it's just pretty cool to see the old highway. I know some people might find these guys creepy, but I think they're so cool. All their little legs are moving so quick. And they even, when they see you, most of the time they'll just stop because they don't want to be stepped on. They're always crossing the trails. They're just looking. They're really cool though. Hey, do you find anything, buddy? Just after the Boyce Mill Road trailhead, this part of the trail is named Nick's Trail after the caretaker for this part of the trail. It's named after his beloved dog that passed. But the whole trail is just so well maintained. This part, we're kind of away from the water, so happy hiking. So this is Laurel Creek. This is just under a mile from the Boyce trailhead. So you could pull water from here. You got to cross it. We came from right over there. Right there. So yeah, you could pull water. Looks pretty clean right here and there. I mean, obviously you got to still use your filter though. It's pretty cool. About 4 miles from the North Carolina Highway 50 trailhead, there is this old home site that is just literally on the trail. So this is it right here, and here's the trail right here. And figured it was a good place to take a break, get some shade. Heck, if you were through hiking, this would be not a bad place to stealth camp. I don't know if I'd camp in here. Something tells me there's probably some horror stories that would happen. I don't know. This place might be haunted. Yes, I do hike with everything, even on section hikes. There's my AT badge from last year. And so back there, it also says that, all the way back there, I don't know if you can see it. Let me zoom in. So back there is a tobacco farm. So they used to harvest tobacco here. Do you see it back there? Let's take a walk. And here we are inside it. It almost looks like it was for animals back there. I don't know if I'd want to stay in this thing overnight. Might be crashing soon, but I do love the old construction of it. Lots of wasp nests over there. See them all? Whoa! Well, that's what I mean. That wood is broken down. But yeah, that's the old, it says tobacco farm. But yeah, you see the coolest things on trail. And there's another outbuilding. You can see that thing's about to fall down too. And look at this thing. This is an old school tiller. It's just amazing. You can see the blades, 1, 2, and then you got the 2 handles here. So basically they would up and down, up and down, up and down. They would till up and down, 1, 2. And then it could be pulled by the farm vehicle or whatever they had. Get the old wheels on it and everything. It's really, really cool. Just sitting back here. Must have harvested a lot of tobacco with that thing, huh? And then you got the guide wheel on the front. Yeah. Alright, y'all. Well, I'm gonna get moving. I took a nice little break here, cooled off. A bunch of concrete blocks, so I was able to take a break. I just wanted to show you too, all around the Falls Lake Dam, Falls Lake area. It is very, very well marked. You just got to follow the white dots. It's not a white blaze like the AT. It's a white dot. I guess these are like state signs. I'm entering Wake County. Just left Durham County. Passing by old cemeteries humbles you. It's the Evans Family Cemetery. You see the corner posts where people are buried or were buried. Not sure if they've been moved, but yeah, this is what happens over the years. The cemetery slowly just disappears. All right, so here's the creek crossing that the bridge washed out last year. Not like the creeks up in New Hampshire or Maine. I can't even see the bottom of that. That is nasty water. This is going to be interesting, figuring out a way across. If we didn't just get the rain, supposedly it'd be lower and it'd be easier to cross, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. Well, we made it across. There's where we were before. First I went down that way, found nothing, got wider, walked all the way up that way about a quarter mile, found that dead tree that we walked across. And again, that is why it is awesome to have trekking poles, because it gives you the balance crossing. It was a 15-minute detour, but we're back on trail. This is pretty cool. They actually have a bench with distances to Hillsboro, 49 miles, Klingman's Dome, or Kauai now, 614 miles. And then this way, you got Jockey's Ridge, 562, which we already did all that, and then Falls Lake Dam, 37 miles. And another beautiful view of Falls Lake. It's pretty cool. The trees are literally in the water. Something tells me the water's kind of high right now from all the rain they got. But yeah, we're between Baptist Road, Hiker's Lot, and NC 98 Lick Creek Trailhead. Happy hiking. Just about a half mile from that bench going towards NC 98 Lick Creek. This is all flooded. You can see the dots there. So the trail goes across here. But I do think I see a bridge down there in the distance, so we're gonna go check it out. But yeah, heads up, if it's after heavy rains like they've had out here for the last couple weeks, it's gonna be flooded. So actually it doesn't go all the way across, it's just flooded right there. Because right there is where you would turn left, but it is still flooded there, so you just go right here. And then yes, here is a nice footbridge. So we came out of the trail there. That's 3/4 of a mile from Cheek Road. And then you get a really beautiful view. How they run these power lines across the water is just amazing. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful view. And then we're heading back down right that way to the trail. I was thinking this would be a great stealth camp area. Tuck yourself to the side of the tree lines, and you always get good reception by power line towers. You can see up there, got a couple osprey nests. Nests are always really big, made with sticks, like big sticks, not like little, little nests like little birds. But yeah, beautiful view between Cheek Road and Jimmie Rodgers Road. So we're about 1.25 miles from Cheek Road, and you can see the water actually has gone down, but you can see it came over with all the branches and stuff that's on top of there that washed over. But still, at the end of the bridge, you'll see that you're going to have to walk through a little bit of water, about just above ankle deep, and then we'll get to that next bridge over there. 1.5 miles from Jimmie Rodgers Road trailhead, you come across this little bench where you can take a break and just take in the view. It is gorgeous. Absolutely. Oh my God. So gorgeous. Yeah, a lot of wet spots on the trail. They've got a lot of rain. Obviously, it's in the news. July 15th, 2025. A lot of flooding up here. Chapel Hill area. Further west. I mean, you just see the news. It's sad. I mean, whole subdivisions, all the cars, you see them underwater. But water's pretty high, but everything's pretty passable. But yeah, this is 1.5 miles from the Jimmie Rodgers Road trailhead. Take a little break, you pack off, and then get back on the trail. Another bench to take a break at, and you can see where we're at. And somebody lost their glasses, but somebody else left them. So yeah, 1.1 mile from Rodgers Road. So this is not even just 1/10 of a mile from the Jimmie Rodgers trailhead, but where you make the left onto the trail, and you can see the white dot on that power line pole, but I have no clue where it goes from there. Yeah, so it's really flooded. And it starts right here, it's very low, but then you can see it gets deep out there, and that's just not where you want to be walking through. And then it's all flooded over here. Everything is flooded. Again, it's July 15th, 2025, so if this rain doesn't stop, and it doesn't look like for at least the next 10 days, this part of the trail you're not going through. It's just by the Jimmie Rodgers trailhead. It's another cool view of the power lines going across Falls Lake. This is between East Greer and Redwood Tom Clark roads. So that's looking over Falls Lake, and you can see how they get the power lines going. Really cool. And then that's where we're going. That's the other side. And that's where we came from. Right before here, they have a really cool tunnel that goes under I-85. So when you see it on the directions, don't think that you have to cross over. It's actually It's almost more like an animal tunnel, but it's for hikers too. So here we are on the other side. Yesterday we had to stop right below the Jimmie Rodgers trailhead. And so this is the other side. This is the Alan DeBarge Bridge, named after, he was an author, an MST advocate, you know, a hiker. He really supported the trail. And after that is, I guess they made like walking boards, but obviously you can see, yeah, the water is extremely high right now, but you can drive around or get dropped off of Santee Road. At the end of Santee Road, at the dead end, to the left, there is a little parking area, and you hike in just under a quarter mile and you'll catch the trail. And then it's a half a mile to here. And from this position, I came back further so you can see after the bridge, it's just underwater. And all the way on the other side of the water is where we stopped yesterday. So if you're like me and you don't want to miss any steps of the trail, you don't believe in yellow blazing, blue blazing, slack packing, you're probably going to do the same thing I did. Obviously, that is impassable. But all the extra walking we've done has made up for it, and we got to see the sights to the left and the right of it. But yeah, there's so much water right now. It's July 16th, 2025, and it's just flooded up here. It's every day in the news. There's flooding everywhere. So yeah, it's not like the AT. You ain't crossing that. That's too dangerous. You know, most of the crossings on the AT are just streams or raging rivers, and you can always find the way to go, you know, a little upstream. But this is, you know, this is the Falls Lake. Happy hiking. So many old family cemeteries on any hiking trail. I mean, that's the newest gravestone, 3561. But you can see these are so old. You can't even read what it says, but it takes humility to understand that one day we will all be here. This one's off of Baptist Road outside the Rolling View Recreation Area. Just a quarter mile past the Redwood Road trailhead, and you see this little bungalow, shed, whatever it was back in the day, being taken back by nature. Pretty crazy how they had it built right over that row. I wonder if that was like a footing, actually. Pretty cool, though. Pretty cool. A little creepy, but pretty cool. Stories this thing has to tell, probably. So just before you get to the Redwood Road trailhead, just over a quarter mile from there, you actually have campsites here that are set up for through hikers or section hikers. So here it is. So you got tent pad 4 right there. Tent pad 5 is right there. Nice flat ground. Got a couple picnic tables. Obviously, I'm the only hiker out here. You got tent pad 3, tent pad 2, and tent pad 1. There you go. Probably can get one more back there. But yeah, ground is real nice here too. I was checking. So you can't have campfires here, which who cares if you're a hiker. You got your camp stove to cook with. You know, cook on the picnic table. And the water, I mean, if you got a purification system, obviously you can pull from here, but there's no other water other than out there from Falls Lake. But any hiker usually has a water purification system. I always carry my Sawyer, so right there. Always. And yeah, it's right off the trail, not even 150 feet. You go right back up there, 150 feet, you're back on the trail. And yeah, perfect. It costs nothing. How about that view? Oh yeah. How beautiful is that? I don't know if you can hear it because I'm flapping my gums, but there's a breeze today. It's just over 90 degrees, but you give a hiker some water and a breeze, we can hike all day. That breeze feels so good. That's why the water's a little choppy. You can hear that airplane over there. Probably just taking off from Raleigh-Durham Airport. This is about a mile from the Redwood Trailhead. Oh, you want to see the plane? Who wants to see a plane? Can you see it? Oh, I don't know if you can see it, but she's up there. But yeah, I just wanted to show you all this beautiful view. Oh my God, that breeze is picking up. It feels so good. So this is just off the left of the trail, quarter mile past the campsites. You see that bridge out there? Don't know what bridge it is, but it's a bridge. Trees are all green. It's so beautiful today. Hiking, 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 hiking. There's nothing better in the world than hiking. Well, alright. Let's not talk about it. Hey y'all, just wanted to show you a crossing here. So I just came from right there. Literally came down, crossed over here, and came up. See the white dots? And I'm going this way. But I wanted to show you this. This is about a mile from that Haraton Road crossing. Trailhead, I'm sorry. I just crossed the other one. But you can see when the water's coming through here, when this is full, you ain't crossing this, you know? I mean, you could try, but you can see how high those banks are. And I mean, you could cross it, but the water is going to be so dark that you're not going to see the bottom. So I mean, it's about 4 to 5 feet deep in most spots. But long story short, I wanted to show you all that. But then right down the end, you see right there, looks like they kind of put together a bunch of logs for a crossing. So again, having trekking poles really helps keep your balance crossing those. Further up, maybe up there, you also could get a narrower spot. But again, up here around the Falls Lake Dam, Falls Lake, I'm sorry, when the water's really coming, there's a lot of places where you might not be able to cross. So if you do try to cross, just be careful. I mean, you just you know, keep your pack over your head. I mean, this isn't hard rushing water like up in the Northeast, but it's so dark that you just can't see the bottom, and you know, it gets soft too. So this stuff can be soft. You might go down another 3 to 4 inches. And here's another one. There's your from crossing from the other side. And you can see you really don't want to walk through that. There's where the trail goes up, right there. But we've got a log right there. Let's see if we can make it without drowning. All right, without trekking poles, I would have taken a swim. Stepped on there, broke off. Trekking poles fell in. That fell in. All right, so yeah, we made it across, but like I said, when I stepped on that edge right there, that broke. Half my bottom of my body went into the water, hit my crotch area. But the trekking poles saved my butt. Like I said, trekking poles will save you. And this water right here, my trekking pole went all the way down to the bottom. So just keep it in mind. It's nasty water. So that fall earlier, crossing that creek, that's the inner bicep area. That's the forearm area. Kind of hard to see. There you go. And that's the worst. That's my left inner thigh. That's nasty. Oof. How cool is that? So these cars, these 3 cars, if you can read that, I'm going to bring you around to see them in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. How cool is that? You kidding me? Man, you don't see stuff like this out in the so-called real world, do you? Not unless you go to a junkyard. But these bad boys are relics now. Bad girls, bad boys. There's that old Chevy symbol. What? How cool. There's the horn. So, so cool. And the third one's right there. Actually, I tell you what, there's two there. They only list 3. Those guys are side by side. Man, those cars were so sweet back in the day, right? Can you imagine driving one of those? Look at that. You got the roll down window still too. Look at it. Yeah, that's a roll down window. I wish I could still have a roll down window. Man, so cool. So, so cool. Man, look how long that thing's been here. The trees growing through it and around it. How wild is that? Oh. Back to the first 2. Obviously, you got idiots to feel like the need to shoot at it. Back in the day, or whenever it was, but you can see the gunshots in it. Or maybe it was in a gangster movie. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Really cool though. Cool stuff on trail. Yeah. Happy hiking. Just thought it was a real cool passageway along Newcombs Lake. This is Newcombs Lake off of Red Mill Road South Trailhead. You can see it's a really cool passage, a green tunnel, which you experience a lot on the AT, but we're on the MST, and it's about 1/10 of a mile. Pretty cool though. Imagine waking up and seeing this guy in the tent with you. He is a big one. Oof. If you listen close enough, you'll hear him buzzing. Buddy's right back there in the background. Between Red Mill North and Red Mill South. Look at that steering column. Another tree just growing right through. How long has this thing been here? You can see the gas pedal, the brake pedal. Yeah, pretty wild. So just about a half a mile from the Red Mill South trailhead, you got the old railroad trestle here. You can actually see the trees are growing on top of it now through the wood. Obviously they've been growing there for a while. Here's more of it. And it's broken right there across the middle. It continues right over there. And when you come out of the woods from where the railroad trestle was, you come through another power line cut. This one's got all the extra stuff up there. And then keep going this way. This last 5 miles, 6 miles, it has been very swampy. The most bugs I've had so far on the entire trail from the Outer Banks to here. And it's still the middle of July. And one part of the trail was flooded a little bit. And then a couple blowdowns. Other than that though, nothing Nothing crazy to report. So we just came off the trail right there. Just 100 yards off the trail, 300 feet, and you come up on the Ward campsite. They got a register right there if you'd register. And they've got this huge shed for you to hang out in. They can provide firewood, fireplace over there. There's usually water too, it says, bottled water. I don't need water, so I didn't go looking, but yeah. There's also a privy. If you look all the way down there, that's privy at the end of the field. And then you can see there are 7 campsites. Sites 1 and 2 are up that way. And then sites 3 and 4, you can see, are up that way. And then the others are somewhere. But anyway, I just wanted to show everyone this. This is really cool what they do here. This is free. This is on private lands, and they provide all this. So like it's raining right now, you could be under here making your food, eating. Oh, here's the water. See, so they provide bottled water too. So yeah, real good people. There's charcoal there too if you actually had something you want to barbecue. But just you know, you see some amazing people on trail doing some just amazing things for Trail Angels. Oh, I'm sorry, it's site 327 over here. So you can see it's 3 to 7. So you just go up there, not far up there, it's right up over there. So, oh, sorry for moving so quick. But yeah, if you're hiking section or through hiking, this is only a mile from the Red Mill Road North trailhead. Happy hiking. Hello, Mr. Turtle. You've got more orange in you than the others, huh? Say hello. Say hello. Say hello. You're so cute. Be careful down there. Mr. Snake laying out in the sun. You see that's directly right where the sun is hitting the trail. See, it's darker up there behind us. It's very dark. Mr. Snake's just trying to get some sun. Hey dude, can I walk by you? I know, you're not poisonous. You're good. You look hurt though. Careful, buddy. I'm just leaving. See you later. So we're on the bridge over the Eno at Penny's Bend. You could see that tree was taken down river and the water was high. Look at the 2 turtles down there. Oh, they jumped in. But yeah, this is the bridge over the Eno at Penny's Bend. Penny's Bend is right there. And now we're looking at the other side. It's coffee water. Coming through Penny's Bend, heard some running water, so I stopped. Thought it was a waterfall, but it's not. From the distance, it sounded like it was. And this is the Eno, so it is still coffee-colored water. But it's very peaceful out here. Penny's Bend is only 1.4 miles. Mountain Sea Trail connects to it. Doesn't that sound so peaceful? So we just came from over there, right over there. I walked around, and they say this is an old barn. I'm about to open the door. I haven't opened it yet. This little rope ladder going up. Looks more like a clubhouse to me. But actually has a decent roof. But yeah, they call it an old barn. Let's see what jumps out at us. Oh, any creatures? I don't know if I'd... I mean, if I was with somebody else, you know, maybe I might stealth camp in there one night if I needed to, but you definitely ain't doing underneath. You see how muddy it is. Water comes up over here, so But yeah, this is about 2.5 miles from Penny's Bend. And it was just cool. I just wanted to stop and film it. I love old buildings. Mr. Spider right there. Hey, Mr. Spider. Whoa, he got mad. Yeah, even here, you couldn't throw a tent up. That's all mud right there. But it's definitely a nice place to just take a break. And yeah, that one area up there is got the roof on it. So, but yeah, going back to the trail. There's the trekking poles. Oh, had to duck under this guy earlier. Mr. Spider over here is blocking the trail. See him? So many spiders out here. Just the last couple days, it's been all swamp area. That's where we came from. And that's where we're going to. All the way down there, you can see the trail. We are almost about 12 miles, 13. Yeah, 13 miles from Eno State Park. Happy hiking. So just to give everybody a little perspective of the floods that happened here in North Carolina in mid-July 2025. So this is the Eno right now. And you can see how low it is. So this tree right here was right here. And the water came up so high that this tree, you can see it's a pretty older tree. It was washed away. And as you walk on this trail, you can see how high the water came. The water came all the way up here. We are about at least 10 feet above where the water is right now. You can see the water came all the way over. There's been so many spots where you can see the water just came all the way up. Sometimes you'll see a bag in a tree. Like you see that right there. That got caught up there when the water probably came up. This is definitely from the water coming up. But it's just to give you an idea of how high the waters came on the Eno. I passed through some areas earlier driving over here, and I seen the disaster cleanup teams. A whole street was just covered with vehicles, and the front lawns were covered with you know, debris from inside the house. It's really a shame to see. But the water's gonna rise, you know, water rises. Rains and the water comes. And we're building everywhere now, so everybody wants to be next to the water. So, just to give you a little view. Seen that guy just hanging out up there, and now he's just staring me down. You see it in the distance. It's a little blurry, but that's a deer right there. About 2 miles from West Point on the Eno. He's just staring me down. He's still standing there. It's been about 2 minutes, he's just staring. Maybe he's a foreman for this plant right here. I don't know, maybe he's watching the plant. Maybe they got deer on their payroll now. I don't know. This is where I'm turning around for the day. Got to hike back the same miles I just hiked. So, well, he's still up there. All right, Mr. Deer, we're out of here. See you later, buddy. Right after the cascade, we come to a nice overview. See, we got mountains. Not really mountains, but mountain rocks. And it's a nice view of the Eno. Looking to the west. And then looking to the east. Nice little rocks taking you out there. Nice little cascade of water coming down. We're about 1.5 miles from Rivermont Drive, East Trailhead. Love that sound of water. So this is the remains of the Guest Mill keeper's house. And you can see this looks like the front steps that were to his house. There's his fireplace that's still standing. And right now we'd probably be in his living room. You can see the outline of the house. Small, but you know, back then people didn't need much. And here was his pump for water. I don't think it works anymore. This is just past the Guess Mill trailhead. Here's the remains of the dam by Guess Mill. Wasn't much of a, too big of a dam. Here's the remains of the dam by Guess Mill. Sound of the water. Love it. Crossing the Guess Mill trailhead bridge. Looking down at the Eno. Oh, I love those stones. Love it. Starting to feel like we are getting out of the flatlands and getting some hills. So you got to go left down the stairs to go underneath the Guess Road bridge. I actually went the wrong way at first, but yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. See, the trail is completely washed out all the way back to the bridge. Still able to get around some of this stuff though. It's like I always say, the power of water astonishes me. Another chimney. Must have been a house here. You can actually see how the tree has grown into it. It's been there for so long. Always fascinates me. You know, it's like they say, you leave something alone and nature will take everything back. We tear down so much in nature, but when we leave, she takes back control. So we're at West Point on the Eno, and just off the trail about 200 feet, I could hear it, and anybody that knows me knows I love my waterfalls. Not really a waterfall, but this is still really cool. It's beautiful to look at. And then, oh, look, oh, can you see him? He just flew away. It's like one of those egrets or crane